I want you to cast your mind back to December the 2nd, 2015. Do you remember what you were doing on that day? Chances are probably not. Unless of course you are Kylian Mbappe, because this young Frenchman is about to make history and become the youngest ever Monaco debutant at just 16 years and 347 days old, breaking the previous record held by none other than Thierry Henry. 2 months later, and he became their youngest ever goalscorer, also breaking Henry's record in the process. And 8 years later, at the ripe age of 25, he has achieved what most footballers can only dream of. 16 trophies to his name, including numerous Ligue 1 trophies and the coveted World Cup. But why does Kylian Mbappe not get the recognition his football greatness deserves? Isn't he meant to be the star that takes over the torch from Messi and Ronaldo? Because for all the goals, the assortment of trophies and individual honours, there is still that little part of Mbappe's career that feels underwhelming, that untapped potential that we are just waiting to see. There is no question that Mbappe is flat out electric. He can turn a game by himself and make world-class defenders look like championship players. He has all the potential to be remembered amongst the greatest of this game, the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona and Pele. But right now, his once legitimate claim for GOAT status is dwindling, if not diminishing, and this genuine superstar's career is being wasted before our very eyes. If you ask me who the best player in the world is right now, I would unequivocally answer Kylian Mbappe. Every time I watch him play, I marvel at his raw athleticism matched with unbelievable technique. But that is when I watch him play. You see, I've seen Mbappe play more times in a France shirt than a PSG one, and he's entering his 7th season in Paris. It's nothing against him, it's just I would rather watch the Premier League over Ligue 1. In fact, I'd also rather watch La Liga, Bundesliga and Serie A. I've only ever watched Mbappe play a live club football match in the Champions League. My first vivid memory of him was when he tore apart Man City when he was just a teenage wonder kid at Monaco. So why am I barely watching a player I confess is my favourite in world football? It's simple, the French league isn't entertaining. You see, whether it's the Serie A in the 80s and 90s, La Liga in the late 2000s, early 2010s, or the Premier League nowadays, the best players flock to where the most eyes are watching. And when you have the best players all in one league, you can be sure of drama and storylines. They know if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's why all those El Clasicos were not only Barca versus Real Madrid, they were quite literally Messi versus Ronaldo. The Milan derbies had that extra spice knowing the all-star talent both sides had. And Erling Haaland's goal tally looked all that more impressive because he made Kane and Salah look ordinary with theirs. Mbappe has no storyline in his career. He's Batman without Joker, Spider-Man without the Green Goblin. I mean, look at who he's competing with for the Ligue 1 Golden Boot. Akor Adams and Ben Yedder. It's boring and the fans simply do not care. Mbappe won the French League trophy and he got congratulated for it. But did he really propel PSG towards this feat like he did at Monaco or like Maradona did at Napoli all those years ago? Not really. So does the average football fan take note when Mbappe wins his 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th Ligue 1 trophy? No. Mbappe could score a hat-trick for PSG against Marseille in Ligue 1 and sadly, most would not care. Kylian is in his own bubble, away from the mass appeal of the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A and Bundesliga, and until he changes that, he's not going to generate the impact along with the memories and trophies needed to be recognised like the greats of this game, just like his talent deserves. Even when he has the chance to deliver on the greatest club stage, the Champions League, the Paris Saint-Germain team always flatter to deceive and sub-perform. From the 2 World Cups I've watched him play in, I know that Mbappe is no joke. He is a generational talent, but when around 80% of the games in a season are for your club and only 20% for your country, unless your club career is distinguished in its own right, it's hard for fans to place you amongst all-time footballing stardom. Because for all of Messi and Ronaldo's greatness, our most vivid memories come from their time at Barcelona and Real Madrid respectively. The good news is that Kylian just turned 25, so he still has time to turn it all around, and if we look at his stats so far, he's not too far off the greats of this game. The most fascinating dynamic of Mbappe's career is that in many ways his success has been an inversion of Messi and Ronaldo's. You see, both Messi and Ronaldo quite literally dominated club football, wrestling over La Liga titles, Champions Leagues, and of course Ballon d'Ors, but could never quite replicate that scintillating form in international matches. Cristiano was 31 when he finally managed to win the Euros with Portugal. Messi was 34 when he won the Copa America, and at 35 lifted the coveted World Cup trophy. To say both superstars finally conquered those elusive international trophies in the twilight of their career would be an understatement. Mbappe, on the other hand, won the World Cup as a teenager at just 19 years old, and aged 23 quite literally carried France to almost winning back-to-back World Cup trophies, scoring a hat-trick in a World Cup final. Mbappe on the international stage may genuinely be one of the most dominant athletes we have ever seen, and I am not joking when I say he could never kick a football for France ever again and still go down as having a top 10 international career all time and one of France's greatest ever footballers. But if he wants to go from footballing greats to footballing elites, he has to fix that club career, and this is how. Kylian Mbappe is yet to win a Ballon d'Or at 25 years old, which doesn't seem like the end of the world, but considering Messi had already won 3 by this stage, well, it shows he has ground to make up. To be honest, it's not like he has been a million miles away from winning it. Every ceremony, he is in the top 3, but just seems to miss out every single time. But with Messi at Inter Miami and Ronaldo at Al Nassr, the pathway has opened up for Mbappe, and now he has to capitalise and forge himself a legendary football career by leaving Paris Saint-Germain as soon as humanly possible. Now, the January window is a far stretch, but if Mbappe does not leave PSG in the summer of 2024, he will be throwing his career out of the window. In terms of where he has to go, well, he only really has 2 options. The most likely possibility, and what has been teased for the better part of 2 years now, is Mbappe finally joining the great Real Madrid. He has been flirting with Los Blancos for what feels like forever now, and it just seems inevitable he will end up in a Madrid jersey. But that deal seems to have hit a roadblock, with reports suggesting Real Madrid have ended their pursuit of Mbappe. How much you believe of that? Well, that's up to you to decide. Should Mbappe join Real Madrid, he should be spending at least 3 to 4 years dominating La Liga and claiming multiple major honours, including the Champions League trophy, which he is yet to claim. However, if a Madrid move doesn't materialise, Mbappe has to come to the Premier League. As I said earlier, to be the best, you have to beat the best. All the greats of this game get their deserved respect because they won the toughest league of their era, whether it was Maradona with Napoli in Serie A or Ronaldo and Messi in La Liga. That is why my opinion of Haaland has drastically elevated since he joined Manchester City. I know Man City were already favourites for the title, but still, to come to a brand new league, break the all-time season scoring record with all the pressure on your shoulders and critics chirping in your ear, it's impressive. And it shows Haaland does not run from the grind. Who he can join in the Premier League? Well, that is anyone's guess. Manchester City should be out of the question given that they already have Haaland, but stranger things have happened. This Venn diagram showcases the teams in the Premier League that Mbappe should want to join alongside the teams that can actually afford him. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I would love to involve bias and encourage Mbappe to continue to follow in the great Thierry Henry's footsteps by joining Arsenal. But if I'm completely honest, I think Liverpool would be the perfect destination. He joins one of the world's most elite football clubs and can reignite the Manchester City versus Liverpool rivalry as the Haaland versus Mbappe show, just like El Clasico was a decade ago. At 25, Mbappe should be looking to spend 4 to 5 years at Madrid and 4 to 5 years in the Premier League. So by age 35, he has accumulated enough trophies, accolades and respect to live out the rest of his playing days in a less competitive league, thus giving him the best theoretical possibility of turning his frail club career around. However, there is a genuine possibility that at 25, Mbappe has too much ground to make up on the GOATs of this game. And with more and more young players entering football and stockpiling trophies and accolades left, right, centre, does fate determine that Mbappe has already wasted his opportunity, leaving the door wide open for someone else to take Messi and Ronaldo's throne?